Showtime! The Capital G Show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here, doing another episode of X Should Be Broken. People seem to like my Crystal Bees and Blackwing Should Be Broken videos, so I figured I'd just continue the series. Today I'm talking about Worms. Worms is a really cool archetype. The thing about Worms is, Worms, it feels like a deck where, yeah, it had some really nice regional tops, but honestly, the deck had a lot of untapped potential because it always felt like it was just one card away. Now let me just say that Konami actually did do some things right with Worms. I mean, they made them all light attribute, which meant that obviously you could incorporate things like Honest into the deck, which would give all your monsters an extra layer of defense when it came to, you know, battle phase and stuff like that. NEBULA Meteorite is one of the best theme cards ever created in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Not only does it let you resolve flip effects, it lets you draw and summon a boss monster all in one card. It is flat out ridiculous. It's by far one of the best theme support cards for a minor archetype. And you know, I also like the fact that they made them all one type, you know, even though that type is completely mediocre, which I'll talk about in a second. So the fact that they're all one type and all one attribute gave the deck crazy synergy. It also meant that you could easily side deck cards like Rivalry and Gozen Match pretty much against any deck that you wanted and not have to worry about it hurting your deck at all. But with that being said, Konami definitely didn't do the deck any favors when they gave the archetype one good level 4 beater. I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, outside of having Worm King and Yax, how the hell are you supposed to run over anything with this deck in battle? Like, always have Honest? It just kind of seemed like they set the deck up for failure when they gave it like one good beat stick. And speaking of boss monsters, I cannot begin to comprehend why the frack this deck has so many of them. Worm King is a really practical, really good card for this deck. It goes to even excellent if you can summon him through NEBULA Meteorite. But then Konami went overboard. Like, they made Worm Prince and Worm Zero and Worm Queen and Worm Butler and all this other bullshit. And it's like, dude, how the hell are we supposed to squeeze like 15 boss monsters into one deck? Like, you're telling me you couldn't have gotten rid of like half this garbage and just made a couple more beaters for us? I mean, what are you trying to do here? The funny thing is, that wasn't even the biggest detriment that Konami hit the deck with. I mean, get this. Konami was gracious enough to bestow upon Worms the worst type in the entire game. Reptile. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Yes, Reptile. The same thing that, you know, they gave to Venoms and Aliens, as if those weren't colossal failures enough. Like, Reptiles are just horrible. Everything about that type is fail. They have like 3 good theme cards in existence, and I mean, shit, Reptile sucks in Mortal Kombat. What does that tell you about Reptile? I'm pretty sure this is how the conversation went when Worms first found out that they were going to be reptiles instead of something cool like fiends. Hey, how you doing? First day being reptiles?
Yeah. Welcome to hell.
So it's like Konami did a lot of good for the deck, but then they kind of like did a lot of bad. It's like you cut your nose to spite your face. I mean, the deck has great synergy, all being light, all being one type, despite the fact it's one of the worst types in history. You gave it a really good boss monster, but, you know, among like 5 bad ones, you know, you gave it a really, really good theme trapped in NEBULA Meteorite, which is just on par as one of the best theme cards ever. I mean, I'm talking like Gladiator Beast War Chariot type goodness. But I don't understand why you just gave the deck one good beat stick. I mean, you basically forced the deck to play trap overload. Like, if you don't run a million traps in your Worms, you just get run over by your opponent's beaters and you just lose. So, you know, that play style is something where you're always going to have the ceiling right above your head because you can't get but so aggressive unless you have like 2 cards in your deck. So, you know, if they gave the deck a couple beaters, maybe just one more good beater, like a 1900 guy who, you know, he could banish a worm from your graveyard and blow up a card on the field, I think the deck would be solid. You know what I mean? Because the deck would have a lot more plays opened up. So let me know what you guys think. I think that Worms are a very cool archetype. Unfortunately, outside of a regional top, that's basically their ceiling until they get some more support cards. And I just don't know if they're coming because, you know, they're really finicky about the hidden arsenal, stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think. If I missed something, please leave it in the comment section below. Thank you. Have a nice day. And click the like button if you would. Subscribing makes life happy.